Welcome back to Footballology. So this week I wanted to get into some fantasy football and talk about all the injuries we've had over the last 2 weeks or so. So let's just jump right into it. First on my list is Jordy Nelson and the injury that he just sustained this past weekend. I was watching the game, and when he caught the ball and he turned around and he just fell down, I was kind of fearful that it was an ACL or something along those lines. So when you really look at it, though, him going down is bad. It's really bad. He could have lost Aaron Rodgers, and then the Packers would have been all bad. Not saying that Jordy Nelson is not going to be missed. He is going to be missed. And the numbers that he was expected to put up this year was really high. And I mean, he was up there, high tier 2 receiver, almost a tier 1 if you really wanted him to be. So my replacement is Janis for Jordy Nelson. And the reason why I'm going with him over Randall Cobb or Devontae Adams is because I think he has a similar build to Jordy Nelson. I think he can put up the same numbers, not quite the same numbers, but I definitely feel like he can give you some good numbers here and there. You can flex him out week in and week out, as your own discretion. But he's definitely a guy that I'm going to try to replace Jordy Nelson with if Jordy Nelson was in my lineup. If you can go get a Devontae Adams or a Randall Cobb, then go get him, in a trade or whatever the case may be. But Janis is the guy that you should be looking at, in my opinion. So really keep your eyes out for him this season. I think it's his opportunity to step up in a lot of big ways. Next on my list is Kelvin White. Now, I know that he wasn't expected to put up any big numbers this year, or, in some places, a lot of people were expecting a big thing out of him, especially out of Chicago. A lot of people were expecting a lot of things out of him. But with him going down, I think it allows opportunities for other guys to step up and guys that we probably wouldn't have potentially seen this year. So hopefully those guys do step up. But my fantasy replacement for Kelvin White is Marquess Wilson. Now, we know Alshon Jeffrey was supposed to put up numbers this year because he was supposed to be the number 1. So I don't think Kelvin White going down affects his numbers. Same way with Martellus Bennett. I don't feel like it affects his numbers or Matt Forte's numbers. What I do think is going to happen in this situation, a lot of people are leaning on Eddie Royal, but I don't think he's the guy. I think this is the guy you really want to have on your team. Probably week 3, week 4, when he finally gets comfortable in the system and John Fox decides to go his direction. I think he has the ability to take the top off and things like that to really help out this team. And I think he has an ability to put up a lot of big fantasy points this year. Yeah, a lot of big fantasy points. I think by the end of the year, you're going to look at him as a wide receiver 2 versus to him being a flex guy or non-starter. So definitely keep your eyes out for Wilson. And I think that you got to have him on your team starting week 2. Week 2 or week 3, I think is when you want him on your squad. All right, last but not least is Kelvin Benjamin. Now, him going down, I do think it completely hurts the Carolina Panthers in a lot of ways, and more ways than they expected it to. I mean, I think their red zone offense is going to go down. But with Kelvin Benjamin going down, I think it does hurt Cam Newton in a way, and especially in the red zone. I mean, Cam Newton can still scramble and things like that, but I mean, those back shoulder throws, those fade routes, those things you lose with a 6'4", 6'5" receiver. Now, granted, I know they got Devin Funchess, but I don't think that Funchess is at Kelvin Benjamin's level yet, especially with the numbers that Kelvin Benjamin was expected to put up this year after having the monster rookie year that he just had. So my replacement for Kelvin Benjamin will be, my replacement for a receiver is a running back. Artis Payne, I definitely feel like it's going to put up numbers because Carolina is going to be forced to lean on a running game a little bit more with losing Benjamin. Now, we know Jonathan Stewart can't stay healthy, so that's when they're going to be forced to go to their backup. They're going to try to run the ball as much as they possibly can, take pressure off Cam Newton and that offensive line. They're looking to repeat an NFC South championship, so that's what they're going to have to do, play solid defense and run the ball. So by the end of the season, by mid-season, I think that Payne is going to be about an RB2, maybe a flex guy, a consistent starter week in and week out, just because they're going to be forced to run the ball a little bit more. And Jonathan Stewart health, we just know that it's right there on the fence. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is just replacement fantasy football players I think we should look out for coming in near future. We're talking about the early parts of the season, mid parts of the season. Anyway, subscribe to the Footballology. Become a footballologist today. If you're not one, become one. And let me know what you guys think. Let me know who your fantasy football replacements is in the comment section below. And I hit y'all up later. Deuces, football fans.